I'm very, very proud to be Black African American, and I'm proud of all of us of color, because these are my people, right? Everybody should be proud of their people.
This generation, I don't know, everybody is so sensitive. You say one thing wrong to try to critique somebody to make them better. Yo, my cutoff game is strong.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like cut. But I'm like, bro.
The mindset probably that our parents raised us with was, boy, if you want something to last, it takes a while to grow.
Yeah.
You got to invest in this for 5-10 years down the road. Now it's a video went viral. Okay, I went from Joe Blow to the Hot Tui girl. Hot Tua girl, right? It's not so much an issue about should you smoke weed or not, should you party or not. It's what's the distraction score. I have literally had someone tell me a consultation fee is $300 an hour. I said I will work with you for 5 hours for free. The only thing I ask is we have to sign an NDA because you have music, and to protect your music, you have to sign an NDA. Well, I don't want to sign an NDA.
What the name of this show?
I Talk Great.
I Talk Great.
Are you a business owner, entrepreneur, entertainer, and you got a story to tell? You want to get your brand out there to the world? Well, you reached the right place. Let's set up an exclusive interview between me and you. I Talk Great, and we're going to go ahead and get your brand out there to the world. But here what you do. Go ahead and send me an email with the words gray at italkgraymedia@gmail.com. See you soon. Y'all already know what it is. It's Mr. Williams with the I Talk Great podcast, where we talk about the great areas of business and life, because it's never just black and white. I got a heavy hitter in the building. How you doing today, man? What's going on? Darren Brown.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, King?
Hey, nothing much, man. Slow motion. How about you?
Man, I'm phenomenal, man.
Good.
Yo, this has been a minute. We was been supposed to get this going.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm so glad you was able to show up. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Right. So I tell people all the time, like, what books are they reading? Right.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like readers are leaders.
Yes.
So
yes.
Being a part of PHP, there's always a book of the month. So this is the book of the month that we're reading, right? 10 powerful phrases, right, for positive people.
Love that.
So one of the things in there that I wanted to just dive on before we get involved, right, is the power of saying thank you. So I just wanted to say thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. But there was a section in there, right? Too many times we focus on our problems, right? So the book pointed out a phrase by Norman Vincent Peale saying, get out of yourself, right? Because there's always somebody else that's going through something that's more.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
When you look at the numbers, there's probably like close to 3 million people that didn't wake up today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we did, and we here.
Yeah, that's right.
And let's go ahead and drop them.
I love that. I'm just going to say it right now.
Yeah, man.
I can't get enough. I love that. I just love that sound effect.
But I want to say congratulations. I saw Mark Cuban is following you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
How that happened?
Well, I'm from Chicago, so we can talk water out of a glass if we need to.
Yeah.
Get the gab. So I mean, really, just the same thing you have. Honesty is just authenticity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's no business school you can go to. There's no training you can take for just being an authentic person. And it just goes a long way. And the power of saying, thanks for following me back. I know. See that segue into that?
Yeah. No, big facts, bro. Okay, so you're originally from Chicago.
Yeah, born and raised Chicago. So I'm from the suburbs of Chicago, actually, by a city called Olympia Fields. Actually, was home of R. Kelly, of all people.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my guy, man. We still listen to Kells over here.
Listen, I grew up right down the street from him. I was seeing him play basketball, Lifetime Fitness. And before all this stuff hit the fan, he's a local celebrity,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to get too much into, good and bad, but
no, of course.
Ultimately seeing him around, in the Bentleys and all that stuff, it was an inspiring edge for those of us that didn't know maybe the darker side. I mean, I was young, too. I didn't know all that stuff.
No, of course.
But yeah, hometown hero. Him, Antoine Walker from out there.
Wow.
Obviously Barack Obama from Chicago. Chicago has so much black excellence, man.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to be from Chicago. It has its crime and stuff, too, but sometimes the negative sometimes gets more press, unfortunately.
No, of course. I was just about to say that. I was like, you go to Chirac?
Yeah, but that's the press.
Like, that's what you hear. Like, so when you hear Chicago, you hear click, clack.
But and that's since I moved to Florida.
Yeah,
I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you from O Block now? I could have been Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
But I'm from O Block now. I said,
Yeah.
no, I got no street credibility. Trust me.
That's okay, because you said you grew up in the suburbs.
The suburbs, right?
So you never had any like encounters with the hood?
No.
I grew up in the suburbs too.
Well, I got family in the hood.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
But I think things have changed because back in the day, you don't bother nobody bother you.
Okay.
You know? But then it's always wrong place, wrong time. People too.
Yeah.
You know. So, but I do feel like I have an ethical responsibility to take some of the blessings I've had to shed that light and spread some of that knowledge to those that didn't have the same opportunities I had.
No, of course.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Because I tell people that too. Like, look, man, because I used to rap back in the day.
Okay.
And
Nice.
some of my homies like, man, you need to be rapping like DMX or the Locks, because that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I grew up in Laurelton.
Okay.
I had
Right.
grass in the front,
Yeah.
in the back.
Yeah.
I can't rap about none of that stuff. You know what I mean?
But you know what? What is this? Because see, now you got me going now. Because what I ran into was this. What I
Yeah.
ran into is, if you're from the suburbs, it's like, okay, you're the way you talk or you're white or whatever.
Yeah,
But-
you acting white.
But I dealt with more of being one of the fewer black kids in the class and that stuff than the people that were in the lower income places.
Yeah.
Because they weren't really the only black kid in the class, so on and so forth.
Uh-huh.
So I think where you're raised has a lot to do kind of with your identity as being black and how you view too.
Yes.
So I
No,
did
that's
go
true.
through
That's
that.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to hear, bro, you sound like a white person. And I'm like, since when being educated
Right.
sounds white?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
we have to start bringing that back.
No, yes. Correct.
But what brought you from Chi-Town to over here in
listen,
sunny Florida?
You will not believe, bro. You will not believe this. My life is it's crazy. I should have a reality TV show. I kind of do.
I saw you on one that I was going to bring up later, but
So-
since you already said it.
No. So grew up in Chicago, right?
Uh-huh.
And always been an aspiring entrepreneur, right?
Okay.
So I work for the railroad. So I started. So by trade, I've been conductor engineer for the railroad, right?
Okay.
So building freight cars in so when you build a train, you put freight cars together. You keep putting them together.
Yes.
That's what I did as a conductor in Chicago. Negative 40, 50 degree temperature, right? So got tired of that and always been like I said, entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an opportunity to get with the bullet train down here, Brightline. So they brought a bunch of us from Chicago, because we did freight and the commuter side,
Yes.
down to run the train, because it was the first high-speed train, in the state.
Yeah.
So they brought me down here in 2017 and hit a bunch of people, hit a bunch of stuff. So all the local people and Florida, man, they all know what the Brightline train is.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But they gave me, and even though I evolved from it or grew out of it,
Mm-hmm.
it still gave me a great opportunity to learn and hone my skills, and even to help me get to where I am now. So, every step has its place.
No.
So, yeah.
Definitely, for sure. But how you go from Brightline to saying, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur, or was the entrepreneur spirit in you before, and then Brightline was something you just had to pivot to?
Yeah, so my mother was a very successful entrepreneur. So
Okay.
she always pushed us to, I grew up back not in the day, but, we raked leaves and sold candy.
Yeah,
You remember that, right?
normal stuff.
That's what we did. So I
Yeah.
sold candy in 8th grade, and
Yeah.
I had, and anybody watching this and knows me from way back there, I had a product, they were like these little blue sours, right?
Okay.
And this is when I fell in love with entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a bin of these sours, right? I guess you get 100 of them for $5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Put 5, 6 in a bag or whatever, sell them to a kid for $1.
Yeah.
But it turned every kid's mouth blue, totally blue.
Uh-huh.
So it hit me when we had like an assembly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I go into the assembly. I have like $40 in my pocket, which is a lot then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
every kid's mouth and the whole audience was blue. That's when it hit me.
So it clicked.
It clicked.
How old was you, say?
Eighth grade.
Eighth grade.
8th grade.
So
It clicked.
8th grade, it clicked.
I got a pocket full of money and everybody's mouth is blue. And I'm just sitting there. It was like a moment on a movie, and I'm just like, I got it. That's it.
Okay.
Entrepreneur ever since.
Wow. Just like that.
That was it. That was it.
Bro, that's crazy because, most people, even in the suburbs, they get, sometimes they get spoiled.
Yeah.
These types of situations don't arise. I'm not even going to front. I ain't even learned the word entrepreneurship till I probably was like 30.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you being surrounded by it. But what was your first, business venture that you decided to go ahead and say, hey, I don't want to do the 9 to 5, or did you do the 9 to 5?
Well, so I've always, because I've had such a high-paying career with the railroad, it was always difficult for me to transition off of that because it was always a 6-figure career.
Okay.
And 6 figures is not, I mean, it's good money, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's not Lambo money.
Okay.
But
yeah,
it's a great income. You know, just that's it. It's a good income. But not I wasn't like Bill Gates. Anyway, so it was always difficult because I always wanted my business to make like twice what my career made.
Yeah.
And that was difficult having a high-paying job. But my first business I was 22. It was called EcoLife. And I learned how to drop ship green cleaning products to Chicago public schools. So I'm working my business at 22 and still working on the railroad. And I actually got busted by one of the supervisors because I literally was on the line with the supplier. It's called the Clean Environment Company out of Omaha. So he comes in, he says, man, you know, you can get fired because you're running a business, you know, while you're supposed to be working.
Yeah.
So I had to hit him with like the Batman I did in the Batman movie. Man, you think I'm running a business from down here, man, with all these boxes and stuff? And he's like, yeah, I guess that is kind of crazy. But no, I had it like it was a 6-figure business. And
at 22?
22. But
what?
I had a great year. It was awesome, you know, and then I had a bad year and I got frustrated and I closed it. I said, you know, I can't because I was used to I made money early on. So I wasn't prepared to take them losses. I'm still young.
Yeah, for sure.
So I wasn't used to. I'm like, okay, I got railroad money and I got business money. Then business money slows down. Okay, I still got railroad money.
Yeah.
And now business is pulling off the railroad money.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking a loss now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, wait a minute now. Now I get paid and I still got to pay, you know, for, you know, websites and stuff like that. So I got frustrated and said I'm out. And I probably shouldn't have closed it, but it was that was my first business.
It was a good lesson for you to learn, but how did you, like, what age were you when you started to learn about how to take those losses, though? Because I think that's really what sets a lot of entrepreneurs back that want to become great, but they don't know how to take the losses.
I had a great mentor. My mother was a great mentor because she was so successful in business. She drop shipped medical equipment to hospitals and to people, so her business got tremendously huge. So she was always somebody that was able to say, you know, hang in there, you know, stick with it.
Okay.
This is what, and from a young age, this is what a credit card is. This is how, remember you used to balance your checkbook?
Oh,
you
bro,
know,
you done it.
Yeah, this is how you balance a checkbook. And a lot of these things are outdated now because it's all electronic. But those skills, as a young person, I didn't realize how few of us young black kids were getting those skills because I was. Yeah. So I didn't know the macro, what was going on. I just knew, okay, if I'm getting, I guess everybody's, you know.
Yeah, you thought everybody was getting.
Until I got older to see that, okay, well, you know, it's a big world outside of living in the comfortable suburbs, middle class, comfortable suburbs.
Yeah.
Than, you know, than some others might have it. So.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
So what would you say drives you the most after dealing with all this? You know, you had some setbacks, you had some losses. At this point in the game, what drives you the most?
This is my biggest driver. I feel like I'm very, very proud to be black, African American, and I'm proud of all of us of color because these are my people, right? Everybody should be proud of their people.
Yes.
I feel like 99% of the problems that we experience are economic, and I feel like financial literacy, digital literacy now, knowing how to navigate social media platforms, not to say just, but the power of having a podcast and being able to reach millions of people.
Yeah.
I feel like what drives me is to give our people the biggest competitive advantage. And I feel like that starts with our businesses and brands being able to compete for top contracts, knowing how to manage money, knowing that the currency exchange is a ripoff, knowing that we're in a food desert, don't have any good food, knowing the impact of drugs and how it devastates us economically, knowing how when we go to our businesses, everybody seems to have an accent that's from somewhere else, but they're not us.
They're not,
So what drives me is to help my people, I help everybody, but specifically speaking of my people, how to be competitive at the highest level, even as a small business.
Correct.
Yeah, that's my job.
I mean, I love that, bro.
Yeah.
But even the fact that, you know, we have to say, you know, we want to help all people.
Of course, yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with me saying, because, bro, I get flack on that when I say, okay, I want to help my people.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we've gotten the short end of the stick. So now nobody's not saying, you know, hey, we want to be victims, but the reality is the reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I saw a clip on TikTok, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. And now that, you know, Trump is back in office, you know, they were showing a little skit of, I don't know if you saw Life with Martin and Eddie Murphy.
I didn't see that one.
What? You didn't see Life?
Oh, you talking about the movie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you remember the part when they came into the restaurant saying, how much to turn this white pie into nigger pie?
Yeah, right.
People saying, like, we about to get back, like, to that point. You know, I mean, I don't think it's going to get like that, but I was just like, you know, it's crazy that people feel like we can't say that, hey, I want to help out my people.
You know, listen, and I want to say this and shout this from the rooftops.
Yeah.
My father had one conversation with me about race.
Mm-hmm.
One. And I'll never forget these words. You know what he told me?
Mm-hmm.
He says, the KKK is out there. You got racist groups out there.
Mm-hmm.
You got people that hate you for your skin color.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop you from being successful if you at your job on time, if you're where you're supposed to be.
Correct.
When you're driving your car, you don't got no drugs.
Correct.
If you get A's and do well in school, if you do what you're supposed to do, all them forces are not more powerful than you doing what you're supposed to do.
No, correct.
But I was raised by a Marine, so, you know, he didn't take no excuses. But
yes,
to this day, and again, I'm not to say that there are not injustices.
No, of
and
course,
some people get totally screwed.
Yes.
And they do the right things. And still, I'm not to say it's foolproof, but
yeah,
overall, 98% of the time, if you do what you're supposed to do, it turns out well, even for us. And I think, but having someone to show you what you should be doing, because you can't do what you're supposed to if you don't know what you're supposed to do.
No, correct.
You know,
correct.
So having those mentors is important. So that's been the big thing with me.
Oh, yeah, no, bro, I totally agree with you that. And being in the right environment.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. Like, what kind of environments were you in as you were staying on that grind or staying on that road to become an entrepreneur?
Well, I think early on, I think that having more responsibility with my career, because when you talk about railroad, it's very unforgiving. It's people that get killed out there, you know.
Really?
Yeah. Railroad's dangerous. You can look it up. Very, very dangerous job.
Really? I ain't never.
Very dangerous. You're out with them metal freight cars and uncoupling cars, and then even with the Brightline train. You know, I've probably hit and killed or been in more than 16 incidents, even with the Brightline train.
Wow.
So you have 250 people on the train. You're doing 125 miles an hour. So the railroad has groomed me to be more responsible, and it has a way of weeding out people that are irresponsible eventually.
Yeah.
So I feel like in being around I always had, and shout out to everyone that is in my circle, a black older group of wise men. You know, that can call you, can curse you out.
Yeah.
And then you know, and still tell you they love you, but you know they love you.
Yeah. That tough love.
Yeah, but they talked about you bad now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we need that.
Yes.
Because this generation, I don't know, everybody is so sensitive.
Yeah.
You say one thing wrong to try to critique somebody to make them better. Yo, my cutoff game is strong.
Yeah.
I don't like but I'm like, bro,
right.
Iron sharpens iron.
Facts.
So I wouldn't want anybody around me that's just gonna yes man me.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So do you think it's important for people to understand how uncomfortable the process is to be successful?
I think that I feel like I'm reading this book called The Infinite Game.
Okay.
By Simon Sinek, and he talks about success being like there's not an end. It's like a state, you know, and it comes in ups and downs. And I get a lot of people to tell me, "Man, you're successful." I guess to a relevant sense, but I feel like I could be more successful. I feel like I'm not where I want to be in some areas. And I feel like success is, in my opinion, it's more of, you know, loving what you have and where you are versus what you actually have. You know, it's how much do you love what you have? How much do you love what you do?
Yeah.
You know, and then that way, you know, I have gone from being in you know, $800,000 condo to renting a single room, you know, while having tons of money, then not having tons of money. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's always a roller coaster. So, but I think that if you're passionate about, if you believe, and I know this sounds cliche.
Yeah.
But I think that when you get some wins and you start seeing your numbers growing, you start making a little money. Okay, so I made this much. I didn't make it this much.
Yeah.
But I know I did it before. I can do it again.
I can do it again.
And it's weird because I feel like successful people, like you and I, we have a weird way of, and I'm from 1,500 miles away, but we have a weird magnetic way of finding each other.
No,
it's weird. You can go any place in the country and you find yourself, when they say birds of a feather flock together.
That is correct.
You find yourself in a weird way around the winners.
Yes.
And that's has always proved valuable to me. Yeah.
No, that's true. Winners win.
Yeah.
Like Eric Thomas would say, winners win. I just can't explain it. Winners win.
That's right.
That's my guy. But
Chicago.
Facts.
Yep.
But you said something so pivotal there about believing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize the reason why they don't win in business is because they're casting doubt in the plans.
Yeah, that's
true. And
true.
they're not believing. Some way psychologically they're casting out fear of like, man, I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna work. Did you ever have to go through that throughout your journey?
Well, I feel like it's like a delayed gratification. I feel everybody wants to be rich right now, scratch off right now, viral video right now, and versus the mindset probably that our parents raised us with was, boy, if you want something to last, it takes a while to grow.
Yeah.
You got to invest in this for 5-10 years down the road.
Yeah,
Remember, they were always talking about way down the road.
Yeah.
But now it's a video went viral. Okay, I went from Joe Blow to the hot tour girl. Hot tour girl, right? One day, whole life changed.
Yeah.
So I feel like now, and I'm glad I was raised in the generation I was, because I feel like more kids and younger people are shooting for that slot machine victory.
Yeah.
And not, okay, I'm going to stay with this for 5 years. Or I'm going to stay with this, and I see it grow. I'm going to stick with this no matter what. And I feel like it makes the competition easier because you're never going to beat somebody at a jogging pace. You can run 26 miles, right?
That's correct.
But you can't sprint 26 miles.
Yeah, no facts.
So I stopped for a little Gatorade.
Yeah,
but I got a good pace going. So that's kind of how it's been for me. I've slowed down and sped up at times, but at the 36 years old, I found a good pace and things. It seems like that we're not doing much for a long time. Keep feeding, and then one day it's just like one opportunity after another, just popping off one after another.
Yeah,
But yeah,
so what do you think are some of the things within yourself that dropped you down from that top mountain that you were on?
I would say distraction.
Okay.
Me being distracted and distracted people. And I think that it's not so much an issue about should you smoke weed or not, should you party or not, should you drink alcohol or not, do drugs or not. It's what's the distraction score? How much if I can drink a little bit or hang out a little bit, cool. But if it's stopping me from being my best when I come to the podcast, or I don't have a voice, or I'm out of it, or I'm
you can't be your best self.
It's hurting my money. So I'm just to the point now where it's all about like a distraction score in my head. I know it sounds like the most corny thing of all time.
No, but it's real.
Dude,
people get distracted for years, bro.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
It could be anything. And that's the most important thing to me is what's going to take me off my square. Because if I can go to the gym, I can eat decent, get some and sleep. I know this is going to sound super lame, but just getting enough sleep, it's such a game changer. And then I also start peeling back from the relentless entrepreneur that I can be in my office 19 hours a day, and I just
you done with that?
Give me a Pop-Tart, and I'm going to keep going. I'm getting headaches from looking at the screen. So now I'm like, no, when I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed so I can get to the gym at 5. And I have more limitations with that, and also looking taking better care of my relationships.
Okay, no, that's true.
Taking better care of my. So these are all things that when I slack on those things, that's when I feel myself slowing down.
Okay.
That's when I feel myself.
Are you ready to take your podcast to the next level? Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, the AV Club is the perfect place to bring your vision to life. The space is designed for creators like you with high-quality cameras, microphones to ensure your podcast sounds amazing every time. Plus, our environment makes it easy to focus and feel at home while you record. From solo recordings to group sessions, we've got you covered with flexible booking options. So go ahead and visit www.theavclubstudios.com to schedule your session now. The AV Club Studios, where your voice gets heard. Let them know Mr. Williams from the I Talk Great podcast said so. Yeah. So give us some sauce. Like, how are you nurturing your relationships? Because I'm not going to front. I've been bad at that. I'm better at it now.
Yeah.
But I've been real bad at like nurturing the past relationships. You know, you go through setbacks and stuff, so you kind of project a little bit. But give us some sauce on how you go about that.
So shout out to BB Lewis in Circle House, because he's one of the people that
BB. Oh yeah, BB. That's my guy, man.
Dude, he's like a mentor to me.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to pick up jewels from him, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of them brothers that, man, if anything you ask him, he's always kicking knowledge, always giving back. And
no, that's facts.
Yeah. So, and then he don't know me. You know, I'm from Chicago, but he saw what I'm trying to do. He see what I'm, you know, and he's always poured into me anyway. To make a long story short, he gave me this. He was talking to me about how he manages his relationships, and he was dropping some content too about relationships, and because what got me about this guy is I moved down here in South Florida.
Yeah,
everybody loves this dude.
Yeah.
He knows all the celebrities. Yeah. And I'm thinking, who is this dude?
Yeah, I didn't know who he was.
Oh man, he's the man, obviously. But
no, for sure.
But the advice and following him as far as taking care of your relationships, absolute game changer, and it's helped me to better prioritize who should be getting my time or not. I get all these inbox messages.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of girls out there that want to hang out with you. It's guys out there that want to hang out with you. They want to get free drinks, you know, or it's people that, you know, it's that they might show like a false sense of interest or and try to encourage you, but it's really just because they want to get to your celebrity client, or they want to get on your podcast.
Yeah.
You know, they rock with you,
bro.
But
I've
it's really,
that.
you know, it's really just for an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like, okay, if you're leading with value, then we can match that.
Right.
You know, like we were speaking about earlier, like attracts like. But, bro, when I say I've experienced that so much down here, like bro, you want some free tickets? And and I'm like, you could have just asked me if you wanted to create a podcast. I could have sent you the ebook. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's what I try to do, even in dealing with some of the bigger name celebrities. Okay, this is what I'm looking for, but this is what I can add. So, hey, if you bring me on the podcast, give me the video, and I'm going to put $500 on the advertisement, and I'm going to link you with some of the sponsors. So you invested some of your time. This is what I have to invest in. We work together. And honestly, it's crazy how much you can get done, and nobody have to spend no money.
No fact.
You use I got this client, you got this client.
Yeah.
We swap. Maybe we do a little referral fee or something like that.
Yeah.
But we can all make bread. No. We can all make money, and we don't have to spend nothing.
Exactly. To me, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yes.
But I think down here, it's a lot of wounded individuals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a more so of like what I can take versus how we can go ahead and reciprocate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see that.
Because I'm like, bro, I'm all cool with competition.
Yeah.
Like, what's your thoughts about that?
I feel like there's more competition when I'm working with entrepreneurs that have less experience in business.
Okay.
When I'm working with the people at the $1 million level, or that have really invested a high percentage of their time or income, it's how can we work together? How can we link up? Because we both try to do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
At the lower levels, or not necessarily lower, but at the newer levels, it's more, well, I don't want to give you a free sample. I come to your restaurant, ask you for a free sample. I say, you say you got a free sample or something like that. Now, I got all kind of celebrities, and hey, let me do a shout out. Hey, man, if you give me a cup of your coffee, I'll do your review. Here goes my Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll put you in front of whoever, right? Well, man, you ain't getting that free $5 coffee. So now you put a whole relationship over a $5 coffee.
Yeah. They're not thinking.
Yes.
But, that's the scarcity mindset. That's the lack.
That's true.
Because you have a lot of these young and up-and-coming entrepreneurs where they didn't get a certain level of significance in their household.
That's true.
So now subconsciously they're acting out that and projecting that. So they need that up front, not realizing the real money is on the back end.
Yes.
Because even when you go into the mall, hurry up and bite, or they're giving you the sample with the chicken, you know what I mean? So they're allowing you to taste it so you can go back and buy the full course.
Yes.
So what's wrong with saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to give a sample so he can see what we do here, and then we can go ahead and build.
It's an investment.
Yeah.
I have literally had someone tell me, I said, I have my consultation fee is $300 an hour. I said, I will work with you for 5 hours for free just because I want to help you build your brand out.
Yeah.
The only thing I ask is we have to sign an NDA because you have music, and to protect your music, you have to sign an NDA. Well, I don't want to sign an NDA. I don't want to work. Do not want to work together. I'm offering free services. I have celebrity clients, Kevin Hart, all these huge names, and I want to work with you, brother, because I know you don't got the money. No charge. Nah, I can't.
So these are rap artists that you work with?
Well, this was like a music producer at the time. So,
Okay.
So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But, it's some of it is mindset, and at the end of the day, it's not supposed to be everybody.
Yeah,
It's not meant for everybody.
That's so true.
So, in those it's meant for, it's much easier, too, than like, what's the old saying, you can lead a horse to the water, you can't make him drink. Mm-hmm. So, at this stage, as my business grows, I want the horse closer to the water, and I wanted less effort to make it drink.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I first started out, I got to drag the horse 10 miles to get to the water and trying to make it.
Yeah.
Now at this point, it's like, listen, the water's over here. If you don't come over here, that's all I got. Okay, you don't want it. Okay, don't worry about it.
You want to stay thirsty? That's on you.
That's it. I don't put much less effort now.
Yeah, because you have a lot of creatives where they stay in the creative process.
Yes.
They don't go over to the business process.
That's true.
And then a lot of people in the music industry, they like that because it kind of keeps you dumb. It reminds me of when Swiss Beats, he was referring a book called The Lean Startup. Okay. Right? But before he got put onto that book, he was in a business meeting, and he was like, man, I don't know the language that these people are speaking. And when he came in the room, they switched up. And he was like, nah, talk that y'all was talking before I got in here.
I see.
And then somebody was like, one of the execs was like, well, we don't want to offend you.
Right.
And that's when I was like, yo, why would he go back to school?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it lets me know that he wanted to speak that language. And I think a lot of the people in the industry, they don't realize that even though you are a creative, you still have to educate yourself because, you don't want to get diddied.
Yeah, well, but you know what I mean. No, listen, I just posted something today and I said diddy. And I had to apologize to the camera. I swear, I was so scared. But at the same time, and I work with a number of music artists too.
Yeah.
And it's okay, and what I try to teach some of them is you have two options.
Yeah.
Either you learn this business thing or you pay somebody that knows what they're talking about. But you going through and signing contracts and not understanding business, it's okay. My job is let me handle the business part, stay in the creative space, but let me handle the business part.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's why I think part of building a business is for us, I think, and being, like I said, working with artists, working on the railroad, and our parents probably came from the same generation. Work hard, work hard, work hard.
Yeah.
However, in business, I found that doesn't work very well because you need a team.
That's so
I
true.
and I don't have all the money I don't know how to do websites. I need a website guy.
Yeah.
I need an accountant.
Yeah.
If I'm a creative, I need a business guy or maybe a social media guy. I need the audio and the camera and light because I don't know how to master this.
No, yeah.
And what's made me successful in business to some degree is that I start getting people that are really good at what they do versus me. I had a podcast and I'm looking at your podcast setup and I'm thinking about mine. I'm taping the green board I got from Office Max on the wall to create a green screen. But what I should have done is say, hey, I need to hire somebody, studio time.
Let me delegate that.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
but
facts.
These are things that are not taught a lot of times in our communities.
No, that's true.
On how to really create a huge business, not just to be self-employed, but actually to be a CEO.
No, exactly. I saw you on a post with Damon John.
Yeah.
How you make that happen?
Yeah. Well, again, Damon John is a person I look up to tremendously. He's a dude. I always say he's the ultimate entrepreneur because he didn't come from any money, and he built his brand by himself. He built it all by himself because sometimes a lot of people have secret angel investors or they have some.
Yeah, that's true.
So you think,
yeah.
Hey, you've been in business a year. You got a Lambo truck already?
Yeah.
God damn, man.
How you catapult like that?
What the hell I'm doing wrong out here?
Yeah.
But he's selling T-shirts out the back of the car.
Working at Red Lobster.
And I started working at Red Lobster.
For real?
In Matson, Illinois, Route 30. Red Lobster, host. Couldn't stand it. But, playing with the lobsters out the tank. But anyway. but yeah, he's another one that's giving back tremendously. We'll be doing this, the Black Entrepreneur Day that he does every year. It's a huge event. Yeah, shout out to that Black Entrepreneur Day. It's absolutely massive. But again, I really find myself some kind of way getting with the people that are like-minded of different levels.
Okay, so how important do you think that is in order for you to stay on the top of your game?
Well, I think that it goes back to relationships, and it goes back to when an opportunity comes up, you're on somebody's mind.
Yeah.
And that's what I've noticed, the power of social media. I really don't care about the likes and the clicks because, you know, when you have a certain amount of people or affluent people or celebrities or whatever, and they're seeing you regularly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the product placement. How many Pepsi commercials and McDonald's commercials we see? But, you know, I want not just the relationship with that person, but that network.
Yeah.
So now what does Damon John's network look like? You know?
It's crazy.
So I've talked to Mark Cuban today.
Yeah.
Now I talked to Mark Cuban. How? Through him. See what I'm saying? So now, you know, so it's not just the person that's in front of you.
Yeah.
It's now I'm one level away from Mark Cuban now.
Yeah.
Or
it's who they know and who they know.
Right. So hey, we want to put a deal together. Okay, let me ask. You know what I'm saying? So it's and that's always proved valuable to me. And it's crazy how the most passionate, successful people, it's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so either I can or I can't. You know, or let me save you information for next time.
Yeah.
It's not all the hater stuff and I'm experiencing less of that with my colleagues.
Yeah.
As business and things do better.
No, of course. Because they're already at the top.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
So they don't need it might be friendly competition up there, like why you might see a Lowe's on the same corner as a Home Depot.
Right, exactly.
But it's not like what's going on down at the lower frequency levels.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, it's harder.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So in the next 5 years, first of all, I want to write a couple books. You know, they say, you know, people want to hear you speak when you write. It's the weirdest thing. So definitely diving more into my public speaking side of things.
Okay.
Because I just feel like, again, for businesses and entrepreneurship, branding is so important. And I have a lot to say about how to build a brand, whether you're a minority or not, or whatever your situation is. I have a lot to say, and I know what I have to say is valuable. So in 5 years, I would love to see that at its fullest capacity, and not necessarily financial, but impactful.
Okay.
You know, impactful.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then on the financial side, because when I do my goals and things, I have two lists. I have my financial and my personal goals. I always separate the two because I don't want them to become convoluted, and I never want the financial goals to supersede my personal goals because really that's the most important.
No, of course.
But in the next 5 years, I'm hoping to be speaking at some large venues, and then my goal is I want to create 100 millionaires. That's what I want to do. I want to create 100 millionaires.
Hey, I like that.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, no, bro, I respect that because they say you're not really winning until you've made somebody win the same way you've won.
Yes, that's what I want to do.
You know,
create 100 millionaires.
Okay, so you said you help people with brands and things like that.
Yeah.
So give me a little synopsis of how would you help catapult my brand? Did you see anything that's, you know, I'm all open for critique.
Okay, no, well, so this is what it is. So ultimately, I think the most important thing is being able to navigate a relationship with corporate partnerships and sponsorships, right? But you have to know what their values are, who you're going after. So you're not really I think that to master your content being geared toward who, you know, because I think there's a lane for creators who want likes and clicks, you know. And again, this isn't specific to you, but
no, I understand.
But they want likes and clicks and they want to go viral. Then you have some people that on the political side, they want their political message out there. Then you have some people that never post. Then you have some people that don't care. Right?
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, I think that the most valuable space for us to be in is to put ourselves in a position to where when T-Mobile or Home Depot or Chase Bank says, okay, we can do business with them because we know that no matter what commercial we come up with, they're going to see it. But just like we had all these celebrities in this presidential election, when you say it, you have more impact with your listening audience. So even if you have 100 people listening to you, the conversion rate likely will be higher from you recommending Chase Bank than Chase Bank showing them 100 commercials. So they figured this out.
Okay.
However, if there are certain things I've seen with certain entrepreneurs, again, not talking about you specifically, but that will immediately disqualify you. If there's the separation between your business and professional life and your personal life, those have to be separate on social media.
Okay.
If you
so I
want
have to have my personal page and
Yes.
not commingle it with the podcast page.
And maybe that personal page should be private with people that you know.
Really?
Yes, because what happens is now with AI is anything, when I put your name in, anything you're associated with is going to come up. Anything. So now I have people asking me about a reality TV show that I did back in 2017. That's on Apple TV. I did
The Spouse.
The Spouse House.
The Spouse House, yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
So you would think that as time goes, but with TV and media, it's brand new to the person that sees it for the first time. So when they see this podcast 5 years from now, if it's their first time seeing it, it's one day old.
Yeah.
It's timeless.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing I would say is to be able to use social media to leverage your corporate partnerships so that you can really squeeze some value out of them guys. And they got a ton of money, a ton of money to spend.
Okay. No, I like that, bro, because I ain't gonna front. I look at like Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, I like Charlemagne.
So I'm like, okay, he has his page separate from the Breakfast Club.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But you was just saying it should be private.
So when I'm talking about a private page, I mean private like our private family time maybe. Now having a separate page, he's still very, very cognizant of what he's putting on there. Anything you put on social media, in my opinion, the way I recommend my clients, and what I do is, if I don't want it in the world, I'm not going to put it on social. I'm sorry, you gotta get over putting everything on social. And I do a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah. No, bro, I'm 100% there with you. I've seen people putting up, females putting up cesarean, baby, preemie.
Right.
I'm like, nobody don't want to see that. So I totally agree with what you're saying.
Right. So, and then even with things being political, I had the opportunity to be at Mar-a-Lago. Now,
Yeah.
stay with me on this.
Okay.
Stay with me on this. I had the opportunity to go to Mar-a-Lago, right? Got invited over, met some people. Cool, right? Now, politically, I'm in a little on both sides or whatever. Even though it was for a client and I had a good time, it's still impact from that. It's still impact from if I post Kamala or Trump. So whatever you post is going to be impacting. The last thing I want is to post something I think is in good faith or good humor, or my kid is crying because he got a spanking.
Yeah.
And then now that puts me in trouble with Lowe's because now I just spanked my son. Or now.
I like how these new dads be on there embarrassing their kids.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or now
yeah.
I put somebody's political opponent on. And I just think what you post on social media for an entrepreneur is 10 times more important. And I don't mean to rant on the social media thing, but, I cannot stress enough how important social media is. If you look at this election that just happened,
oh yeah,
those podcasters did better numbers than NBC.
Yeah,
they did better numbers than NBC.
She was on Club Shay Shay.
Club Shay Shay.
Yeah, and he was on Joe Rogan.
Hundreds of millions. Hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
And it's not, some people you will say about social media and they brush it off. It's whatever. But as an entrepreneur and building a brand, it levels the playing field. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have this voice. We didn't have this voice 20 years ago. Like this. We couldn't reach 1 million people. We couldn't do this 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, big facts.
Yeah, so it's very important. And I think that as an entrepreneur, you should recognize that and not minimalize or trivialize the importance of your name, of what your face is associated with, and your reputation. A good name goes a long way.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Yeah. Brother, this has been so dope. I appreciate you coming through. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
You got to Google me, DarrenBrown.ceo.
Hey.
DarrenBrown.ceo.
Google that.
DarrenBrown.ceo.
Yeah.
CEO.
Hey, I love that. I love that.
Everything will pop up: Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. DarrenBrown.ceo. Everything's under one brand.
All right, brother. Appreciate you for coming through. It's been love.
Thank you so much, man.
No,
to
man.
give you your flowers. I've seen all the interviews you've done. And the perspective that you are able to give us, the authenticity, is second to none. Everybody's starved. Everybody's filtered. And the authenticity that you put out is one in a million.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate that, bro.
Yes.
Y'all already know what it is. It's Mr. Williams with the I Talk Great podcast, and we out of here. Yeah.
Peace.